So to say, did school help you with your business?
No. School did not help me at all with my business. School doesn't teach us anything about business, and that is a big problem. There would be nights where I didn't sleep. 24-hour energy. I'd grab 2 to 3 of them, and I would drink them, and it'd stay up all night. You have school in the morning, it doesn't matter. You don't care at all.
Who are you? What are you doing?
Hello, Serge. My name is Miller Norris. I am an 18-year-old entrepreneur and creator full-time. So yeah, that's essentially what I do.
And how did you get into entrepreneurship?
Good question. So I've been into entrepreneurship for the longest time, like ever since I was really little, like 7, 8 years old. It started off with very little businesses, like selling rocks, painting feathers. That's what I did with my grandma. My first major sale was like a bunch of feathers selling to a store. Got like $200, so that was awesome. But I fell in love with entrepreneurship because my family called me the Wolf of Waltham Street. Yeah. If you don't know, I live on a street called Waltham Street, and they kept saying, "You're the Wolf of Waltham Street," because I just like would always hustle for money, and that's honestly what got me fully into entrepreneurship. So yeah, that's just a little memory I have.
And what is your business right now?
So my business right now is I sell a children's book. This is my children's book. It's called Penny and the Magical Money Tree. What my book does is it tries to teach kids the basics of entrepreneurship and business. That's our goal for like future books. But this book this book is almost 100% on saving, like learning the basics of saving and investing and not being greedy. It's just like a story of a little girl and her grandpa, and she doesn't know anything about money, and he kind of brings her along the journey, and he tries to teach her as much as he can. And that's the story. There's ups and downs. I've worked on it for like 2 years now, and all we have right now is this book. This is all we have right now, but we have goals and plans to build this to like even way bigger, like way bigger.
What are these plans exactly? What do you say?
So I've always struggled in like the system of education. I've never really felt like I belonged in it, and our main goal, our main priority is to say that we've successfully changed the system of education. Right now in schools don't teach kids about business. Schools don't teach kids about finance. We're getting there, like progressively getting there. There's more business classes now than there were when my mom and my dad were in high school, and that's definitely true. But for the younger kids, there's nothing about money or business in middle school, nothing about money or business in elementary school, and that doesn't really make sense. Why are we not teaching these kids the basics of learning to save and learning to invest and being smart with your money? Because if we do, then they'll show interest in it. And if there's interest, then they're going to start learning it on their own, and that's just the better for everyone.
So to say, did school help you with your business?
No. School did not help me at all with my business. Literally, like, at all. My freshman year, so I was going into my freshman year. It was like the first couple weeks, and I had my agency. Yeah. I did SMMA. If you don't know what SMMA is social media marketing agency. It is where you try to help other people's businesses with social media. So I was running my agency. I had employees. I had a team. It was going great, but we just weren't profitable. And the whole reason that I created this book was because of this agency, because this agency failed, and I came to the realization that if school helped me, if school actually sat down and was like, okay, here are the next steps, here's what we can do, then maybe that wouldn't have failed so fast. And that kind of like flipped a switch in me where I was like, school doesn't teach us anything about business, and that is a big problem. So yeah, that's why I started creating the children's book, and yeah.
And also, as an entrepreneur, you have to work hard, of course. So like, would you say how hardworking you are, and also, how hard do you work like on a day-to-day basis?
Okay, so work ethic is different in everyone's minds, obviously. In my mind, work ethic, it plays a big role in like how hard you work, because work ethic isn't how hard you work. It's like, or it's how hard you work. It's not how long you work for. Like I could work for 8 hours and then not do anything, and that's still working. But like my work ethic in those 8 hours was awful. So time isn't only a big thing, but work ethic is a huge thing. And as an entrepreneur, you have to have the strongest work ethic, like in your family. Like you have to be a workaholic, is what I like to say. There would be nights this year, last year, almost every year. There's nights where I didn't sleep. I would go to the store. I don't know if there's like these little bottles of like 24-hour energy or 5-hour energy. I would grab those bottles. I'd grab 2 to 3 of them, and I would drink them, and it'd stay up all night when there's stuff to do. Like as an entrepreneur yourself, you know that that's how it goes. You know that you have school in the morning. It doesn't matter. You don't care at all. You just need to make sure that the work that needs to get done tonight gets done tonight, and that's your only concern. I'm not thinking about sleep. I'm not thinking about, oh, I'm going to sleep in school tomorrow. I have 4 tests. So no, that's just me. I don't really think about school when I'm in school anyway. But like for the normal person, if you're in entrepreneurship, you really have to just like not think about the future and just think about what needs to get done right then and there. And that's what happened a lot. Sleepless nights, sleeping during school, sleeping in my car. That's kind of how it went down sometimes. And that's how the cookie crumbles.
Yeah. Would you say, do you think school sets students up for failure?
Now that's tricky. Little backstory before I go into if schools set students up for failure. I'm not going to college next year. I'm 18. I just graduated high school. Can't believe I'm done. Can't believe I actually graduated. But I'm not going to college next year, and everyone's like, why? Everyone thinks that my answer is going to be like, because college is stupid and college is a scam. Do I think that college is a scam? Yes. Like, we can go into that in a minute. But I think that school sets students up for failure sometimes. And I say that because there are plenty of students out there who want to be doctors and plenty of students who want to be teachers and scientists. And for that, you need a degree. For that, you need college. For that, high school sets you up perfectly, right? If you want to be a teacher, you are getting taught by teachers for your whole time in high school and in school in general, public school, private school, whatever. So that's setting you up for success. Like, school sets people up for success for the most part. But then there's that other side. There's that other side of kid who maybe doesn't want to do the norm, doesn't want to have a 9 to 5. And that, I'm not trying to be cringy. I'm being for real. Like, there are kids who want to do something different with their lives than what's like the normal. And school doesn't respect that, if I'm going to be honest. School doesn't really respect that. You know, last year I was in chemistry class and I got kicked out because I would always be on my phone and always be on my laptop trying to trade stocks during the class. Like, that's all I was doing. I didn't care about chemistry at all. I had a failing grade in that class, and I got kicked out at the end of the year. And for me, I was happy. I was like, oh, I get to do like more work now. Like, I don't have to just sit here and listen to her yap. But like, it's true. Like, schools should definitely be more open to hearing what kids want to do and move from there. Because if the school went to me when I was a freshman and said, look, we understand that your goals, or even a sophomore, whenever, if they said, look, we understand that your goals are different and your, you know, what you want to do is different. This is how we're going to teach these kids. Let's talk to you and figure out a plan on how we can make this experience better for you and how we can help you. Like, that would be like, that is what education should be. Education should be open and honest about how they're going to teach their kids, just trying to help their students as much as possible. And for me, at least, and for other students, didn't happen at all. So I think for some students, they definitely set them up for failure because they don't help them. They really don't help them. You pay all this money for a college degree, and you don't have a job when you come out of it. Like, maybe because the job market is a little screwed up right now. That's a whole nother thing. But if you're paying all this money for college and learning all these skills, why is it that so many students are coming out of college jobless, coming out of college maybe with an internship, but like, after you're done with college, what's next? Job. Life is after college. And what, you don't have a job? Why is that happening? Why doesn't college set you up for success in that sense? That's my problem with the system of education today, and I'm trying to solve it.
Do you want to mention here about Carl Jung?
About what?
About Carl Jung. I think it's difficult, that's why most people judge. Or something like there's
like
this note here.
Oh, Carl Jung.
Yeah.
So Carl Jung is like a philosopher, and one of my favorite quotes from him is, "Thinking is hard, and that's why most people judge." So that's like one of my favorite quotes of all time, because if you really think about it, it digs deep into the fact of like, our society is a society that judges, right? The school system sets kids up for failure, but also the kids in the school set each other up for failure as well. Everyone judges. Like, literally every single person judges. When I was a sophomore and I was trying to create this, right? my closest friends said to me, this is a bad idea, right? Every time I would mention it, or every time someone would be like, hey, how's the book going? Like, it was a bad idea. It was my friend a couple weeks ago said to me, Miller, I actually did not believe in you at all. I thought that was the stupidest idea ever. And now you have a book and it's pretty cool. He said that to me 3 weeks ago. And I'm like, I just thought our school system and the kids in school are just so negative. Anything you want to do differently, automatically you're just going to get shut out, and only the ones with the strongest minds will prosper. And I did not have the strongest mind back then. I was posting content, entrepreneurship and business content every day for 2 weeks straight, and all I got was shit. All I got was just negativity on negativity, comments saying bro, what the hell is this? And that completely crushes a person. I wasn't completely crushed, but I was crushed enough to stop doing it. What would have happened if I continued to post content until now, 2 years later, and I had 600 pieces of content? That is life-changing amount of content. And it all stopped because of a couple comments. And that happens to thousands and even hundreds of thousands of kids, is they want to do something creative and different, and they get stopped because their peers are so negative. And going back to the quote, thinking is too hard, so people judge. He's so correct about that. People don't want to think and do something new, so they judge. And that completely crushes kids. So
Yeah, gotcha. What are your future goals?
Future goals. So I was in Costa Rica a couple weeks ago, and my phone and my computer were both dead. So I took to the pen and paper. I do that a lot, even when they're not dead. But in this occasion, I took to the pen and paper, and I was bored. So I wrote down my 10 things in life that I want to do / that I need to do before I die. And a lot of them are easy to achieve, and a lot of them not so easy to achieve. I'll go over a couple. Big family. For me, it's super important. I grew up in a huge family, and just not having that would just be no, that's just a no automatically. I'm going to do everything in my power to get that. That comes before money. That comes before business, everything. Number 2, I have little things I want to live in the city. I want a dog when I'm young, little things like that. But some of my bigger things are I want to build an actual influence. I want to actually walk on the street and have people recognize me and truly say thank you for the information you've given me, because that's just where I see myself. I really want to build an influence, and I really want to have shown the world my powers. Another one is obviously change the system of education. I think it's corrupt. I think it's outdated. As cringy as that may be, it's true. I think it's outdated. And one of my biggest goals is to change that. So yeah, that's what I wrote down. I wrote down a couple more, but just little things. So those are my future goals. We can go into in the next couple years if you want to.
Yeah, would you say what are your goals also for your business specifically?
Business, yeah, perfect. So goals with my business, I have a whole map for the next 2 years. I don't know if you guys watch, but Mr. Beast, he says on some interviews, he's I have, in the next 3 years, I know everything I'm doing every single day. That's kind of like me for my business. So what we're doing is, obviously we have this right now. This is what we started with, just this piece of, whatever this is, cardboard and paper. And all we need to do now is sell. That's all our goal. Just sell as much as possible, pump as much content out as possible. And the second we sell this enough, we can start writing a second book. This book is about saving and learning not to be greedy and being patient with your money. The next book will actually be about business, how to start your own business. What is business, right? At the same time, trying to be not complicated and not confusing for the kid at all. Then I'll go into a third and a fourth and a fifth book, right? Then we'll get into high ticket, because this is low ticket. If you don't know what low ticket just means a product that is cheap. So we'll get into high ticket after that. High ticket, for us, our high ticket will be going into schools, hosting live seminars, teaching parents how they can properly educate their children on money, because money is the root of all evil. I believe that. Every evil thing that people do has something to do with money. However, you also need money. We're not teaching kids to be Boss Tweed and take over a whole city and just be an evil person. and just be like an evil person with their money. No, like these books are just trying to show children that like learning about money, or show parents that teaching their kids about money is a good thing, because it is. Like you have children's books on every other subject but money. There's like 3 children's books on Amazon that are actually good that teach kids a little bit about money, and mine is the best. Not to brag, but like I'm trying to promote here. But yeah, so we'll get into high ticket. We'll get into teaching parents and teachers and kids how to actually start their own business. And then eventually in the next 2 to 3 years, we'll have a fully self-running business that's just a whole education platform for kids of any age and people of any age to learn about business. You have all the right people to talk to on our website. You have all the books that we created and that other people created. You have all the videos. You have all the sources. You have all the contacts, everything. That's our goal. And that's my goal specifically. That's what I'm here for. I truly believe that that's the way that we can change the system of education and change the way we think about education.
Yeah, I think that's all the questions we had here.
Yeah, awesome.